The bulls are back. Bitcoin all-time high. I couldn't sleep overnight. Kept checking my phone. Kept monitoring the market. I'm too excited. Congratulations to anyone, to everyone that took the trade and has made money so far. Even if you bought Bitcoin, no matter what, you are up right now. So congratulations. We all need this. This is the reason we are here. To live and to celebrate on days like this, which builds our conviction why we are in this market. All-time high. The bulls are back. The bears are down in the gutter and they are crying. This is why we're here. To make money, generational wealth, and build the new financial rails. And this is just building our confidence and conviction. Let's go. My name is OP. I'm a prop trader from Ashedge, and I'm here every day showing up, spotting opportunities, giving you alpha on the next trade to take, and frankly, to make generational wealth from this volatile asset class we have over here. We just jump right into the content and the video we have for you today. And as you can see, the bulls are back. We doubted, some doubted along the way whether the bull market was done, whether the 4-cycle theory was no longer. But that has all been invalidated right now. We are back. All-time high. Now, we are literally in price discovery mode. Let's just jump right into the chart. Everything is looking bullish. Right now, we are in price discovery mode. You can see on my chart, we have crossed the all-time high, which is bullish, incredibly bullish. I called this yesterday. I knew, I mentioned it, and I knew it was going to cross over. We were just watching the chart and looking at the candle movement. It was a continuation to the top, and now we have crossed all-time high. Now, if you miss this trade, not to worry. There's still opportunities and opportunities to enter, because right now we are looking at this candle on the daily, and we should be expecting a close of this candle, a close of the current candle we have above this our resistance, which we have crossed of $109,000 levels. A close above this is signifying, it will signify to us a further continuation of this bull market. For some reason, I think we might be able to inch up to $115,000, which will be very solid, giving us a solid footing above price, and it's giving us price discovery into unknown territory, because we have no levels. There's nothing to calculate. We have no trend lines, no pattern lines to spot around that. So we are literally in price discovery right now. So literally the price can go to 115, it can go to 120. Some are saying 120, some are saying 125 across crypto Twitter. But who knows? We are all watching this market and just speculating, and it is fascinating. What a time to be alive. Looking at the RSI, we are overbought territory. So that gives us a little bit of skepticism and caution, especially for anyone trying to enter this market right now. I think it will be a wrong move for you to enter. If you have missed this trade, no worries. There are more opportunities to spot. Once we get rejected at price discovery, whatever price that may be, and we come and reclaim support at the $109,000 levels, that will be a good time. If we reclaim that support and we confirm it, that will be a good time to ladder in another long for another move upside to the all-time high it might have set. So but right now we need to watch the market and look for where price is going to be discovered and where next the price is going to get to before resistance and moving back down. So we should be seeing that happen in the near term. Although I've read in some other circles that this might be a double high before a pullback to the bottom. But bearing that in mind also, we have to still be cautious and watch what the daily candle is telling us today. And that will give us a view of what to do and what is coming next. So right now, we just wait and see approach. We are taking the wait and see approach and let the price talk to us in this sense. Looking at volume, we seem to be growing. RSI, like I said, we are already overbought territory, which gives me a little bit of caution. Looking at Bob Lucas and what he says, and he said there could have little juice left in it before a little shakeout. So it's possible there's a little more juice in this before a little shakeout. But everything, the weekly cycle is great, and anything pushing new highs is something you cannot fade. Yes, we cannot fade it, and we are not fading it. But he's expecting a little more juice in the system, in the strength of the bull, to push the price further upward before a little shakeout, which is what I explained and we are anticipating. Looking at other things, that narratives and catalysts that has culminated into this bull, we can see that the ETFs, the BlackRock ETFs, has been bullish. IBIT has climbed into the top 5 ETFs by inflows with a massive 9 billion so far. So all this is rushing in the doors. Institutions, government entities, private entities, everybody, they are rushing into the Bitcoin door. This is what is fueling the price upwards. And again, we saw yesterday in macroeconomics with Japan yields, the 10-year yields, and the decrease in the rates of the yields and all of that, and no one is buying the bonds, the Japanese government bonds, and that is causing a lot of macro headwinds, and a lot of Japanese investors and Asian investors are flooding into the market. And what are they buying? Bitcoin, your favorite asset, our favorite asset, digital gold. Now we move on and we see Mike Novogratz, CEO and founder of Galaxy Digital, an all-time Bitcoin bull, OG, is just saying and echoing what you have been saying sovereign wealth are buying Bitcoin, and all these are the ones pushing this price upwards. Of course, for all of our benefits, and as traders, more advantage to us and more increase in our beloved assets.
Mike, the crypto industry is definitely having a moment right now. There's a listing of your company, Galaxy Digital, Coinbase joining the S&P 500. You also have the debut of eToro, and of course the price of Bitcoin itself on an upswing, today hitting a record $108,000. Do you think the news around the crypto ecosystem is helping to drive the price of Bitcoin? What's wagging the dog here?
I think, listen, it started with Larry Fink when he got orange pilled, and the largest asset manager in the world said this is a real asset, in at least Bitcoin, that everyone should be part of. And lots of other companies, Invesco with us, followed suit, right? And so that was kind of round one of institutions coming in. But really it was the change of the shift of approach from the Gary Gensler SEC to this Trump administration, which has just embraced our industry. And that freed up the animal spirits, both here and abroad. Right, I've had conversations with heads of large sovereign wealth funds that said, if America's buying Bitcoin, we're buying Bitcoin. And so you're seeing, like, the snowball is rolling downhill. The one thing that could have held it back some, at least the Bitcoin price, would have been if, Scott Bessent and his team and Congress could have really knocked that deficit from 7% of GDP down towards 3%, which was his plan. Right now, it looks like it's going from 7 to 8. And, I like Scott Bessent a lot. I think he's as competent and capable as anybody. We're in a really hard position as a country. And when you have this kind of debt, and you're seeing it with long ends of interest, yield curves are selling off everywhere. The dollar's under pressure, and that all is very good for Bitcoin and crypto assets as well.
All this macroeconomics is good for Bitcoin and the underlying assets as well. That's what it is. And if America is buying Bitcoin, we are buying Bitcoin of large funds and other sovereign wealth. This is what they are saying, and all of them are foaming to get into the door, and ultimately this will push the price and skyrocket the price to Valhalla, to the moon, as we say. Let's just jump right into Ethereum, which was a perfect entry for us, as I indicated yesterday. Congratulations to anyone who took the trade yesterday, and you can see we should be up on our trade. We should be up about 1 minute. We should be up right now. No, right now we are up 4% on our trade of yesterday from taking it yesterday. And this is showing us an incredible bullish move on Ethereum. Looking at the RSI, we are not in overbought territory. So there's a lot of room upside. So we are still looking for a take profit level around the $2,000, $2,700 levels. And that will be our first take profit. Then we look at what the candle is telling us and what the chart is telling us. If we still remain in that trade, or we close out for anticipating a retrace to support, which we have a support right now around $2,500 levels. So this is looking incredibly bullish. Ethereum looks bullish, and it looks like it's primed for a movement upward. Of course, Ethereum is always lagging after Bitcoin and following Bitcoin. So we see what is happening with Bitcoin. Definitely we anticipate it. We have a local high right now in Ethereum to $2,800 levels, and now $2,900 levels, but that is in the mid-term. But now in the short term, we are just looking to take profit at the $2,700 levels. This is incredibly rich for Ethereum, and we see a lot of things happening on Ethereum. Looking at the velocity is up 4.3% this month, and demand for Ethereum is coming back, and we can't ignore this. Ethereum is getting its groove back, and this is what is going on with Ethereum. We know a lot of large institutional players are stacking up Ethereum. A lot of people Ethereum is like the slow killer that everybody has faded this cycle. Although other things still look bullish, like Sui, like Solana, all those other layer twos are also very, very good. However, Ethereum, I think, is a sleeper because it has not really performed. It has underperformed this cycle, but I think it's a sleeper, and I think it will do a lot of numbers. According to Otto, he is also saying the same thing, and I think it will do a lot of numbers this bull cycle. Finally, looking at XRP, something we are really, really interested in, an asset class we are really, really interested in because of their institutional strength, the institutional backing, and the way they have positioned themselves as the parent company Ripple overall in this, with cross-border payment solutions and all of that, and the XRP ledger rather, and the fast transactions fees, the cheap transaction fees, and the fast speed of the network, and the TPS, the transaction per speed on the network, is very, very low. So we see all of this going for XRP. XRP bulls are also back. There's room for upside to growth. So we look for a take profit around the $2 for 48 cents levels, and that will be confirmation of that. We need to confirm that support before we move further upward to the local high of $2.06 level. So we still look at XRP a lot. Looking at the RSI, we are still at the middle ground, so there's still a lot of room for XRP to grow. So this is something XRP is something, a chart we really watch, because there's opportunity here. If you have missed the Bitcoin and there's still opportunity in the Ethereum that are spotted, but Ethereum is still moving so far. And if you still want upside returns, I think XRP is something to watch and something to get into, because now is either now or never, So looking at XRP, there's a lot of bullish sentiment. We reported on Monday, XRP ETFs was by the CME group was launched. Another XRP ETF futures is launching today, I believe, tomorrow, and Volatility shares to launch the first ever XRP future ETF tomorrow, making another milestone. Is a major milestone, but this is another. So XRP keeps adding all this fundamental bullish case, bullish catalyst, and bullish narrative for it. So why won't the price go up? It's only a matter of time. That is what we should be doing as traders. We should anticipate all these things before it is dictated or it happens on the price. We see it happen on the price, so we should be able to position ourselves before the price catch up in this sense. So this is what is happening, and we have positioned ourselves rightfully and so in XRP. So that is quite interesting. We'll be looking to take profit once we get to the $2.48 48 cents levels. Looking at the fear and greed index, we seem to be we are now at 72 levels more than yesterday. So inch by inch, we are going deeper into the greed territory, which is understandable because everybody is bullish, everybody feels the FOMO, everybody is greedy right now, everybody wants to make money, and everybody that has been in a trade so far, no matter how much you have been in the trade, even if you entered at 109, you're still in profit. If you entered at $108,000 Bitcoin, you're still in profit. So everybody is bullish, everybody is patting themselves on the back, doing a good job. But we always remember one thing: even if you are in profit, there's no harm in taking money off the table. Cut your positions, because if there's a sudden shift in the direction of the market, you don't want to be the one that when the tide goes out, everybody realizes you were swimming naked. You don't want that. Because at the end of the day, as traders, we are risk managers and we want to be able to manage our risk levels, and we want to make sure we are making money and not losing money. Looking at the crypto bubbles and looking at the overall altcoin market as a whole, what does it tell us? We are incredibly bullish across the board. And what jumps to us is hype with STX, BSV, SPX, Tau, Wildcoin, XMR, Monero, Fatcoin, and the rest. Everything is bullish across the board, and this is incredible, telling us it is a lot of bulls are back, bears are crying, and we are all making money. The bulls are making money. Just to end the video and end this content for today, looking back at the Bitcoin chart, looking at it, we still appear incredibly bullish. So nothing is invalidating my thesis right now that we are not bullish. Yes, we still need to watch it in case we start to slow down, because we are oversold at the moment. But we continue to watch daily candle close for today. That will give us an idea of what the chart will be doing in the near term. We'll be watching this. Make sure you follow all my videos, you like, you subscribe, you watch all these videos, because all this analysis is time sensitive. There's a lot of money to be made, and we are here to make sure you become rich from zero to Ferrari. See you tomorrow.